This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Friday, January 24. If the principal of the Frederick Smith Secondary School, Major Michael Boyce, has his way, the St. James School would admit less students when the new school year opens in September. Last November, the school was rocked by the fatal stabbing of 16-year-old Tamaria Holder by one of his peers. Speaking to Barbados Today on the sidelines of the school's annual speech day and prize-giving ceremony, he explained the school is in the process of transformation.
One of the things that we would love, to be honest with you, is that the intake coming in at the end of 11 plus, when the exams, the allocations are done, is a lot lower than what it is that we get. We get 170s, 172 sometimes. To be honest with you, we need a lot less than 170.
At today's ceremony, Principal Boyce expressed concern that the performance of senior students had declined and there was still not enough support from parents. He told Barbados Today the school is still healing, but his staff has redoubled efforts to develop well-rounded students.
Our efforts are not going to focus just on that one incident. It's going to focus on developing the total child. So everything we do here at Frederick Smith will concentrate on that, building on the talents that the students have. As I outlined in my speech, we would have started some curriculum reform initiatives, and we know that we have to do more, and we're going to do those. We know that we need to get some additional training for our teachers, and the teachers themselves may be asking for that. The reform, we're driving a reform from within. So that's the plan, to go for a change what we do so we can do it better for our children.
60 young people interested in a career in the Royal Barbados Police Force got a better insight into its operations today. The Ministry of Youth and Community Empowerment, in collaboration with the Princess Trust International and the Force, concluded its first Get Hired Uniformed Services Employability Workshop. The participants were introduced to their potential employer and career opportunities in its 8 sections. Police Inspector Roland Cobbler told Barbados Today that the force was happy to be part of the workshop, given the low recruitment of members into the force in recent years.
We are on the numbers as it relates to the number of members in the Royal Barbados Police Force, and having had consultation with Ms. Boyne, and provided her with the criteria, the recruitment criteria for the police force. The numbers here today does indicate that there are a number of persons who are seeking, that employability within the Royal Barbados Police Force, because they were briefed on what this workshop here is about. It gives an opportunity to sell the force to them, give them an insight of the various departments within the organizations that they themselves can bring the required skills that could be useful for our society as we try to develop a safe and secure society.
Get Hired is an initiative that connects young people who are work-ready to potential employers. Senior Youth Commissioner and Program Coordinator Elizabeth Boyne says the ministry is happy to assist youth and help the force boost its numbers.
It provides additional opportunities for young persons who have expressed an interest in getting into the uniformed forces to be able to come together and find out more about the processes involved, and it also gives them added opportunities, because some of them would have mentioned about the areas to us, some of areas that they would want to specialize in and have interest in. This is, as I said, this is our first initiative, and we hope that as we move on, today's session would allow for us to do some referrals, because we would appreciate that, because we have made this intervention, all persons may not be suited for the Royal Barbados Police Force, but we would assure that they pointed in the right direction to suit their skills and interests.
Participant Kyle Yearwood, who has a bachelor's degree in microbiology, said he was interested in joining the force's forensic unit.
The workshop so far has been informative and has allowed me to improve on certain skills about my employability and working on and how to approach interviews and approaching them with confidence and being able to more or less sell myself to the future employers. I do have an interest in joining the Barbados Police Force, and I would like to be able to join the ranks and become be of better service to my community.
For Shannon Green, who holds a first degree in law, the workshop is an opportunity to explore another area of law.
The information that they're providing has been very useful, and it allows me to possibly explore another career arc. And from the workshop, I just want to get more information about the different departments and to learn more about the recruitment process, as well as what type of persons that they're looking for to join the force, especially with the rise in crime. And I know that it has been stated that there's a shortage, to see if I can in some way contribute.
The government's massive cleanup exercise is well underway across the island, and according to St. James South MP Sandra Husbands, it has been paying off with much-needed jobs. She was speaking to reporters this morning after touring her constituency with Ministers Dr. William Dugard and Peter Phillips from the Ministry of Transport and Works, along with other officials.
In some communities, unemployment can be as high as 30%. Now, what do you do when you get up in the morning and none of the adults in the home are working, and there are 2 or 3 small children that have to be fed? What do you leave that family to do? You put them at risk. And this is one of the reasons why we are fighting hard. Minister Dugard, they have a big roads program coming up. Ministry of Environment, the debushing program, and then there are other programs that ministries will be working on that will actually generate jobs for everyday Barbadians to relieve some of the pressure in the homes.
Meanwhile, electricity woes that have plagued residents in the government housing estate in Haynesville, St. James will soon be no more. Husbands was only too happy to tell reporters that workmen started to tackle the problem last December and are now back on the job. She says 250 householders will benefit from the upgrade, which will cost them $2 million.
They have restarted and they're reaching probably the halfway mark. There are over 250 units that have to be done, and they'll be approaching the halfway mark. So a number of homes have been redone. They have now 3 outlets in the living room, 3 in the kitchen, and 2 upstairs in each bedroom. That makes a tremendous difference to their life. So the ladies in my constituency here, especially in Haynesville, they're very happy now because they can now manage their electricity. So I can only tell you how happy they are.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news in the Bahamas, as debate on the legalization of marijuana continues, police authorities declare they will be enforcing laws against illegal drug possession.
The Commissioner of Police has placed more officers on the street, more operational officers on a consistent basis, and as a result of this operation, we have seen a few more arrests. We talk about persons who are in the trafficking field. We know that they seek to develop new trends, and we as law enforcement seek to our best to understand the trends that they're doing. On a daily and a consistent basis, we seek to develop our intelligence to understand the trends that drug traffickers tend to utilize in order to bring drugs into the Bahamas or export drugs out of the country. And we think that we are doing a pretty good job with that.
On the international scene, a new coronavirus that has killed 26 people in China was confirmed in Europe for the first time on Friday, as it spreads despite Chinese attempts to quarantine the city at the heart of the outbreak.
Hospitals in Wuhan are struggling to cope. The city at the epicenter of a virus outbreak is facing severe medical shortages as confirmed cases grow by the hundreds every day. Chinese media are reporting that some hospitals have only 3 to 4 days left of supplies and are running low on testing kits. Now some hospitals are calling on public support, issuing appeals for things like masks and protective suits for medical workers. One doctor, who asked to remain anonymous, said hospitals would rather wait for support from the central government. But right now, they have no other option.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.